Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. Again, I'm surprised I even know how to use this camera anymore. It's been so long since I've last recorded a video, and of course I can only apologise for that. The consistency over 2024 so far has been shocking, so it's something I've got to work on. Yeah, today we are back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about why Wrexham AFC gets so much hate from other football fans around the country. Of course, we know the media seem to love Wrexham AFC for one obvious reason, which I don't need to name, but of course when it comes to other football fans of other clubs, they don't seem to get along with Wrexham all too well. So before we get into today's video, if you're new to the channel, make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button as well. If you could drop a like, let's try and hit 550 likes on today's video. And of course, I've launched the new YouTube memberships. They've been updated after about 3.5 years, I think it is. So if you want to join, everything will be on the screen in the following slide to come. And of course, you can click the first link in the description down below. There is some absolutely incredible emojis that you can use in the comment section. You've got a loyalty badge next to your name when you do join, and you get loads of other perks. So if you want to join, consider clicking the link in the description or clicking the join button on the channel. So since Rob and Ryan took over the third oldest football club in the world, it's fair to say that we've probably become one of the most disliked teams in the English pyramid amongst football fans for various different reasons. And of course today that is what we're going to be talking about. I've got 4 different reasons. Now, some people obviously believe that Wrexham AFC deserve a good steady ownership, as they've seen what Wrexham AFC have been through in the past 2 decades or so. But as you can imagine, with a takeover like this and being a one-of-a-kind ownership with American owners, I think we sort of pre-planned that there was maybe going to be a bit of backlash and maybe a bit of hate towards Wrexham AFC, and I think, yeah, it's definitely happened, and there's going to be a minority that are against this takeover, but in this case, I think it is a large minority that do dislike Wrexham. So the first reason is the media coverage that Wrexham AFC do get. Now, when the takeover did happen at Wrexham AFC, it was clear from the get-go that there was going to be a significant amount of coverage regarding Wrexham AFC, because let's be honest, you've got 2 Hollywood A-listers, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Put those in a title of any article, you're going to get clicks, you're going to get money from those clicks. Of course, it is a great narrative of what's happening at Wrexham AFC, but it's fair to say the media definitely did love the narrative of Wrexham AFC being the underdog, and of course they wanted to cover Wrexham AFC as much as possible since the takeover has happened. And yeah, if I'm being honest, I can understand why some football fans would dislike Wrexham, purely because of massive media outlets. I'm not going to name any names, but you can see them being titled "Wrexham superstar leaves Ryan Reynolds' soccer team," and you'll find out it's a free agent that maybe left 2 years ago. So let's be honest, it doesn't really represent the club that Wrexham AFC are, the history we've got behind us, getting these stupid clicks from media outlets. Okay, Wrexham AFC don't have any affiliates to some of these media articles, but it doesn't really give Wrexham a bad name. But you just sort of have to laugh at it sometimes at how ridiculous some of these titles are. And yes, I'm guilty of doing this once or twice, but I don't go to the extent that some of these news articles do. And I understand at the end of the day that it is their jobs, and I think every Wrexham fan can agree it is definitely quite cringe at times, and I genuinely think this is 100% why some other fans do not like Wrexham AFC, is the way how we're portrayed in the media through different articles regarding how people title the articles, how people talk about Wrexham AFC. I think it's the way how the media do talk about Wrexham AFC. This is massively present last year in the Vanarama National League title race, toe-to-toe with Notts County. If I was a Notts County fan, I would be livid at the lack of media coverage they got from that season. They broke the points record, although Wrexham AFC got more, they still broke the record. They scored more goals than us. I think they had a spectacular season for what they were working against over at Wrexham AFC. But like I said, I can understand, I don't agree with it, I can understand why some articles and outlets would do this. It's their job, they've got to make money. It's going to get clicks if you're putting Wrexham and Ryan Reynolds in the title, but at the end of the day, it is slightly cringe and quite annoying at times. You'll click on an article and think, oh, brilliant, we've got some breaking news here, and it'll be irrelevant information slapped on a title. But at the end of the day, I can understand why these people do it. And going over to the title race last year, Notts County didn't get a fraction of the coverage that we did get. And like I said, if this was roles reversed, I would be very annoyed. But just to cap off this sort of media coverage regarding Wrexham AFC, like I said, these outlets that are doing this, they're businesses at the end of the day. This is what they do to run, this is how they make their money, and they clearly see Rob and Ryan's names as an easy target to put in the titles of articles to get easy money. And I think people do forget that if you are going to put these two names in a title, you're going to get clicks on your articles. And don't get me wrong, it is incredible the media coverage that Wrexham AFC do get. They portray Wrexham in a really good light. Some people might be watching this and thinking this is so ironic considering I put the Reynolds in titles of videos, but some of the outlets you read, and you know, it's come to a point where, you know, you join a Facebook fans chat for information and it's just filled with worldwide people spamming links with irrelevant information, and you see this trickling over to Twitter. And this is another point regarding the media. It's the way how Wrexham AFC get portrayed as the underdogs. Now, this was massively seen last season when, you know, the documentary came out, and this is something that I think even confused a couple of us Wrexham AFC fans. It's how the media portrayed us as the underdogs going into last season. I think we're so incredibly lucky to have owners that will help the club generate revenue through their celebrity status and pull power, which of course allows us to have the luxury squad that we do, and with that comes expectation. And I think we all thought it would have been a massive failure if we weren't to get promoted last season, but for some reason the media decided to portray us as the underdogs going into that National League season. Seeing all the documentary coming out and stuff, the media decided to portray Wrexham AFC as underdogs going into this season, which, yes, I can imagine, and I've seen that it has annoyed a lot of other football fans. The main reasons why people dislike Wrexham AFC is to do with stuff that isn't even affiliated with the club, doesn't even have anything to do with the club. The media articles, like we're pointing on now, it was a strange one when we were reading the articles saying Wrexham AFC going into this season as the underdogs. This is an underdog story. I can agree that it's an underdog story from a sense that Wrexham AFC, you know, were a sleeping giant. They've got taken over by Rob and Ryan, two big Hollywood owners, and you know, that's an underdog in a way. But saying that we're underdogs going into a National League season where we're playing against teams that are part-time, I think was ridiculous. And I can understand why people would look at this and think, this isn't for me, this Wrexham story. You know, the underdog story would have been Maidstone or Dorking Wanderers winning the league last season. But at the end of the day, we can't control, no one in Wrexham AFC can control what these news articles say. Reason number 3 now is the money spent on players. This is definitely a huge factor as to why people do not like Wrexham AFC. You know, when you get a big cash injection, you're not just going to sit there and do nothing with the money. Of course, we've seen it. Wrexham have splashed the cash on multiple players, and we've built a high quality squad, and for some reason people seem to not like the fact that we've done that. This seems to be a common theme of football when clubs do, you know, get a new ownership and they spend money on bigger name players and get players down from higher leagues. So I wouldn't be too disappointed if you were watching this. It's a regular theme, like I said, and it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But what I'm really trying to reinforce the point is that, you know, anyone would die to be in the position that Wrexham AFC are in. That isn't me trying to sound big-headed or anything, but you would love to have the owners of Wrexham AFC. You'd love to have the money to spend on getting a high-quality squad. And of course, there is some unfortunate clubs out there who are going through some rough times at the minute. We cannot be any less grateful than we already are for what's happening at Wrexham AFC. So if you're getting wound up over 4 defeats or something, you know, our sticky patch of form, I think you maybe need to stop supporting Wrexham or just lower your expectations, because there's clubs out there who are in a far worse situation than us. But you know, this is definitely a factor as to why people don't like Wrexham. It's the money spent on players, the high wages that people are rumouring. They're not going to be true, of course, but you know, they're going to be on a significant amount more than half the other teams in League 2. So you know, when you get a team with a high quality squad, they've splashed the cash on players. People, of course, are going to not like us. They're going to be the team to beat. Reason number 3. Now, if you're an American fan watching this, you might want to skip past this part. But yeah, it's the American fans. I think this definitely is a factor as to why people are disliking Wrexham AFC, and I hate to say it, I think this might be the biggest factor on this list. To cut a long story short, UK football fans don't seem to have a good sort of history with American football fans due to the cringy football chants. Just the setup of American football, and I just think there's a general dislike. And of course, when the takeover happened, mix America and Wrexham together, people are not going to like us. I think that is the worst combination for any English football fan out there. So like I said, this is probably the biggest reason why. Of course, English don't like the Welsh. I think English don't like Americans equally as much. So I think it's great for the club, personally for me, having all these new worldwide fans jumping on board. Of course, supporting the club, you could say they're jumping on the bandwagon. Yes, they are. For me, it's great to see all our new worldwide fans watching from all across the world. They're supporting the club financially. Of course, it's good for the club. They're actually showing a love for the club as well. You get many fans, Man City, for example, who have fans from all across the world. But there seems to be something good about Wrexham AFC. There seems to be that something extra with this support. You know, people are going that one step further. They're setting up, you know, places in America to watch Wrexham AFC games. You'll see groups of 15, 20 people all gathering around in their Wrexham shirts to watch Wrexham on the big screen. It's surreal. You would not have thought of this stuff 4 years ago when COVID was happening, before COVID, sorry. You know, I think you just have to sometimes pinch yourself to see if it's really happening at times when you see these pictures on social media. So it's quite surreal considering everything we've been through as a Wrexham AFC fan. Me being 18 years old, I can't cast my mind back to the Alex Hamilton era, but you know, I've heard everything that's happened. I've seen exactly what Wrexham AFC fans have been through. And of course, you're looking at results and you're looking at where we finished in the league table. The last 10 years have been absolute disaster for Wrexham AFC, you know, failing to get the playoffs nearly 8 out of 10 seasons that we've been in the National League. And of course, we've got that spark and the upwards trajectory that Wrexham AFC have had financially, league position-wise, fan base-wise. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, if we've got new worldwide fans who are willing to support Wrexham AFC, of course, willing to get the shirts, pay for the iFollow games. Of course, it's not all about the money, it's about growing Wrexham AFC as a club. But if you're looking financially, it brings extra revenue and extra exposure for Wrexham AFC. So it's a win-win situation. And I think, you know, we're not going to focus on the hate that we're getting over the money that we're bringing in. And like I said, everyone's going to say tourist FC, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And of course, they always bring up the fact that we didn't used to sell out our stadium and now we do. And also the idea of having a team that play in the English pyramid, having a mass amount of American fans is always going to end badly, but in this situation we're forever grateful for our worldwide Reds. So overall, I can understand why people are going to dislike Wrexham. Personally, if this was another club, apart from Chester maybe, so say, let's for example say it's Notts County have had a new ownership, they've got a large amount of American followers, genuinely hand on heart, I'd be looking on the outside saying this is quite cool, it's quite cool the journey that they're going on. And I think if they were to have a documentary, I'd be watching. If any other League 2 team was to have a documentary, of course you're going to be watching unless you just really don't like them. Now, I'm all for a football documentary. Sunderland Till I Die, the new one's out, absolutely incredible. So, you know, overall for me, it's a very big positive for the club. It's a very big factor as to the income that comes into Wrexham AFC. Of course, we saw with the American tour, the support and the love that Wrexham AFC got when we played Chelsea. I think there were more Wrexham fans than Chelsea fans in that stadium. So, you know, it's bringing the exposure to the club on an international level as well as the UK level. So the club is continuing to grow, which we can only be thankful for to our American fans and of course our fans from all across the world. And the final reason, you might have been expecting this, it's jealousy. Now, people can say, you know, you sold your soul to Hollywood, but in reality, most football clubs would love to be in the position that Wrexham AFC are in. Manchester City, they're not bad owners, but, you know, they only turn up once in like the past 6 years or something. They're not invested in the club. They see this as an easy way to grow themselves financially. Rob and Ryan, yes, they're going to be benefiting off it financially, but of course they're in it for the community. They're in it to grow the town of Wrexham AFC. When they were going around, they were seeing clubs that, you know, needed that push and investment into the club to take them on to the next level. They were looking for that sleeping giant, and of course Wrexham fits that bill perfectly. And of course they wanted to be good owners towards the football club and get them back on track. Rob and Ryan have done nothing but good things for Wrexham AFC since they have taken over. And I'm going to say I think they're top 3 owners in the English pyramid, in the easily the 92, I'd say. So, you know, we're so lucky that we're in a position. And, you know, you see people complaining about clubs like Bury, for example, you know, Reading at the minute with Dai Young. People complain when clubs have bad owners, but for some reason when Wrexham AFC are in a situation when we've got a good ownership, people seem to be complaining as well. But for some reason when clubs have an injection of cash, owners that come in to steady the ship and take the club to a next level and unearth that sleeping giant within the club, people seem to don't like that either. So I don't get it at the end of the day, you know. I wish there could be more football clubs that have owners like Wrexham AFC. I'm incredibly grateful, I'm sure every Wrexham AFC fan is, for the journey that they've taken us on so far. And you know, we've seen the history of Wrexham AFC, I've said it in multiple videos. If you're unaware of the story that Wrexham AFC have had over the past 2 decades, search it up, you'll see all the rough times the club have been through, you know, having to raise £100,000 in less than a day to stay afloat. These fans have worked their absolute socks off to get this ownership, and they have, you know, it wasn't like they were working towards this ownership. This was unexpected. No one knew this was going to happen, but they worked their socks off to make sure Wrexham AFC stayed afloat, continued as a football club. And I think this is why the new ownership and, you know, this big ownership is so fitting in regards to the owners and the fans. You know, Bring those two together, you create a big force, and we've seen that. The fans have got behind the team. We're selling out the racecourse week in, week out. Rob and Ryan are loving the adventure we've been on. Season 3 of Welcome to Wrexham is coming out in just over 2 months' time, so what isn't there to love at Wrexham AFC at the minute? Of course, people are going to dislike us for the reasons I've said in this video, but being a Wrexham AFC fan, every single day there's something happening. Every single day, it's just incredible to see the journey that Wrexham AFC have been on. Like I said, to cap off this video, these are the type of owners we need to see more at football clubs. Owners that are going to be invested into the club, that care about the club, that are going to turn up and watch your club. You know, it's hard for Rob and Ryan to come over because they live in America. You know, they make the effort to come over when they can. They're heavily invested not only in the men's team, but in the women's team, the local community at Wrexham AFC. They've helped stabilise the club financially, bring the fans together and bring that belief back into the fan base that we once had all those many years ago. And yeah, we're finally on the upwards journey that most of us have been wishing for the past 10 to 15 years, maybe even longer. You know, for me, it's always been my dream to see Wrexham AFC play in the Football League. So that is why every single game we go into now, we're grateful that we're walking up through those steps, sitting in our seat and watching Wrexham play in the Football League. And that is all down to the loving, the caring owners that we have in Rob and Ryan that are going to put the club first before anything. And, you know, at the end of the day, they are easily top 3 best owners that you will find in English football, and they're owners that we need to see more of in the game. So yeah, that is it for me in today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to get down there as well and subscribe. Also, let me know if I missed any reasons out in today's video. If I have, let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, do all that good stuff, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's hope for a win tonight. We're playing Forest Green away. I reckon it's going to be a 3-1 Wrexham win. Until then, take care guys, up the town.